Alright, here we are. Got ourselves another TI replay. And we're looking to get on going here. I know this one's a long one. It's a barn burner of some sort. I mean, it's going late game, so I'm looking into, maybe Naga being important in this game. Weaver for sure being important in this game. Ravages, again, late game, going to be very important. And then you take a look at the other side. More of an early game with the Huskar. You've got Pudge, who will scale, of course, into that later area. With Witch Doctor here. We'll see if he gets an Ags with how late this goes. Underlord should be good to really tank pretty heavily, especially the Underlord and the Pudge. Definitely an interesting combination, but take a look at this Weaver starting in the off lane, which again, like I said, the Naga should be important, but Naga safe lane, I don't know when the last time I saw that was, and I obviously I saw that this game might take a while. It might be a long one, and I think I've got my answer right here with this Naga Siren in the safe lane. So, in the words of Nate Diaz, now I'm going to botch this. Honestly, I'm not surprised that this game is going on so long. And only the first half of that quote is from him. Second half is just made up, but Underlord should do relatively well. I mean, Arctic Burn, yeah, that's all well and nice, and that lowers your movement and whatnot, but Atrophy Aura should keep him all well and good. Firestorm, once he gets level 2, should be good. Slayton really shouldn't be that bad, and honestly, they could do a lot more with it if they, go 1-1-1 or something like that. They get the hook into the Pit of Malice. You keep them close with the Rod on top. There's opportunity to kill with Firestorm on top of that, and the Underlord just hitting away. Like, I see plenty of opportunity for them to get killed, and as I do with the dire side of this. Riptide early with the Ensnare. You want that minus armor. With the slow. Definitely going to be interesting as Maledict comes out. I believe that did hit onto the Weaver, but he's got the Tango. Should be good against the level 1 Maledict. But a lot of heroes low here on the side of the Dire at the moment. Tidehunter low. Weaver low, Viper low, mid too, and this is up against the Zeus, now out of mana, going for that early bottle. So this is a moment where Viper should be able to farm, should be able to get those denies, maybe harass out the Zeus a little bit when he's low on mana. That's the opportunity he's really going for. Meanwhile, over top, Arctic Burn slowing down this Pudge. He's running away, has that hook, and has now grabbed both bounties over towards the top part of this map, and then over bottom, Tidehunters grab the bottom too. So this is 2-minute bounty rune era of Dota, which with these replays we've been going back and forth between patches. And we'll see as over mid Zeus ends up dropping, and that's due to this Tide grabbing a haste. Has the Anchor Smash with the Kraken Shell. He's pretty much unkillable against the Zeus solo. And like I said, he was pretty low on mana, or relatively low on mana, to the point where that's just an easy kill. So first blood comes out for the Dire. Off camera, but nonetheless, still a kill. And 3 minutes in, we got ourselves first blood. Not too shabby. Take a look as Naga trying to run away. Pops that salve. Hook is available from the Pudge. Goes north. Not the direction that he's in. And now back to full health will be the Naga Siren with the Riptide. Maybe able to pull a kill, but he is here by himself. And under that Firestorm, doesn't want to stay too close. Hook will pull the Underlord back. I'm not too sure that was exactly the plan, but is what we get. 150,000 on the physical damage there for the Viper. And, yeah, so for right now, it's just an easy game. Easy in the sense that not too much action, not too much movement, not a bloodbath. And you take a look at the Underlord, now level 3, not going into that Pit of Malice. That was all, you know, just theory crafted away. You don't usually take Pit of Malice too early. Firestorm early is just so good, as well as the Atrophy Aura. And really, at this point, with that 2 levels in Atrophy Aura and the Firestorm, Underlord should be able to really handle this lane by himself. So that lets Pudge, and then allows Pudge to move around. He's got Hook, he's got Rot, doesn't need to stay over in the top lane, and with that, you know, you get the Hook with the Rot, and you might have opportunity at kills for the side of the Radiant in mid, or maybe even bottom. So that Maledict happens to miss, and now under the Sentry Ward is this Weaver. They've got the stun. Cast comes out. But again, he's able to walk away, and Huskar having a relatively good time here. Over bottom is Firestorm, and Riptide comes out onto the Underlord. Tidehunter dropping low. Don't want to lose out on him possibly going down, or even the Naga, or the Weaver, who's forced to run from this Huskar. And now it's kind of, you know, a lot of things happening on the map for the Radiant. Over bottom, over top, they're starting to find their spot in these lanes, being able to posture as much as they can. Got this Underlord who is top of the CS chart at the moment, and just running away with this lane as the Naga Siren has been forced back to Shrine and now into the jungle. Not the best movement for this Naga, but take a look over towards top, or mid actually. It's the Viper Strike that comes out, but the Pudge coming over. Maybe able to turn this around with a Hook, but again, not finding the right positioning, and he stands still, not by creep, so there's your opportunity for the Radiant. Fairy Fire is used, no way to stop this TP, and Viper all the way back to base. A nice little question mark there as Naga also gets away. So a couple of missed opportunities there for both the mid and the off lane on the side of the Radiant. And that could prove to be, you know, big for the Dire. When you find yourself in this spot where more earlier oriented team like the Radiant, and I'm not saying they're a very early team, I'm just saying compared to the Dire, late game, and yeah, really the Ravage, mid game here, not really crazy, but ooh, Underlord over top, ensnared up, Tidehunter's here, just needs an anchor smash, or really, a couple of shots coming in from the Naga, and blown up by the Zeus's ult. Thunder God's Wrath comes in to clean up. So 2 kills there for the Radiant as they lose the Underlord over top, both of which come in that lane. But after the Underlord ends up dying, so he doesn't get the experience for that. Viper Strike comes through onto this Witch Doctor. He's surely dead. Hook out onto this Winter Wyvern, but that's not the play that they want. The Arctic Burn as well as the Splinter Blast. In trouble is the Pudge. Will get the double kill. They've also brought the Weaver over. So while the lane is now open bottom, he's over here towards mid. I don't really like him here. Go back, farm, get those levels, get that solo experience that you desperately need with Huskar, who's been annoying you in that lane. That's where you need to be, and unfortunately, he is now here mid, not farming, not doing much of anything, staying nearby. Pudge possibly looking for a Hook. Not that that will matter all too much. Maledict comes through, but what is the Maledict really doing? And now Weaver's going to possibly find a moment to go in. They've got Viper continuing to move forward, and it's another kill on the Witch Doctor. Maledict doing not much of anything, really. Underlord getting low. Naga Has Song if he needs it, but honestly, doesn't. And really could use Ensnare and Riptide once again to possibly go through in onto this Underlord. He has 12 armor, but with level 3 and the armor reduction being 4, it's not as great as you would like. And Weaver going down towards this bottom bounty rune. So with Weaver falling and not getting to level 5, it's just him leaving that lane that really concerns me about where this game is going to go. Over mid, Viper again. Viper strike on the Witch Doctor. How many times are we going to watch the same thing? He's dead. All 3 of his deaths have come the same way. Go to mid, hit with the Viper strike, and then die. And I don't fully understand it, to be quite honest. Dust out on the Weaver. Huskar moving forward. He's only level 5. And Snare out. Goes the Mirror Image. And now with the Riptide, he is definitely dead. And Witch Doctor shows up to lane. He says, hey, I'd like to die as well. And Dire will certainly grant him this wish as they go into the tier 1 tower for just a moment to get the kill. Oof, Maledict with the tower shot. Almost killing the Naga Siren. But is carrying that salve and has finished off the tread, so life is grand. Pin of Malice on to the Tidehunter as well as the Firestorm. 10 minutes in, we'll switch it over to the net worth. And Viper coming over. This could be another kill. Viper strike comes out, slows him up. The Pudge is here to try and help him, but Viper here to intercept. Ravaged Throne hits on 3 because the Zeus has made his way over. There's the Firestorm with the Lightning Bolt coming out. And that's a kill for Zeus, trading 1 for 1. At least. Hook, Rot, Viper's got 2. Looks over at Zeus. The damage is high, but I don't think it's enough. And Winter Wyvern will grab the kill. 3 dead on the Radiant. Later game team, in my opinion. Making this early game, using the early ability, I'd say, of the Viper to help them proceed into the late game. The Viper is the damage they need. The Viper is the game presence they need to really roll into the later game. Especially with Weaver. Especially with the Weaver sitting a little bit further behind. By a little, I mean third to last. Ravage up in about 83 seconds. Viper having a very good game. He's saved up 1,500 gold. We'll see what he goes for. Witch Doctor's back. I don't know what he's looking to really do. He throws the cask, maybe looks for Maledict on top of the ult, and that's exactly what he goes for. He's probably gonna get close to dying. Might die again and will. So it's the 4th time he's died that way, but this time he gets the kill on the Viper. You know, it looked like the last 3 times he was setting up like he was level 6, which he was not, and now when he's finally level 6, can throw the cask, get the Maledict, use the ulti. Things finally happen for him. Splinter Blast comes out. There's the Ensnare. Time lapse used by this Weaver, as well as the Thunder God's Wrath. They'll look to get the Zeus. They'll get themselves one. They're right in the middle of the fray. And Hook's gonna miss, but he's too close to this tier 1 tower for them to really want to push in. So Underlord does have the top net worth at the moment at 5,000 net worth with the Mech and the Arcane Boots going for the Guardian Greaves. He might go for something in between that, but we'll see as he hits away at this Tide, trying to run away. Nobody coming to help, and finally the Mech is there. 1 shot from death, trying to get out of range, uses the Ravage. That was not the right move. You needed to leave afterwards, but he keeps him there long enough. There's the Riptide, and he just TPs away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So blowing a Ravage on trying to survive doesn't even end up surviving. And that is a bit of an issue. Maledict again here onto the Viper with the ulti from the Witch Doctor. Going for the Shadow Blade, not the Maelstrom, and then Naga Siren going for the Diffusal Blade. This is a core Naga, something we haven't really seen in who knows how long. Not something you see that often. I mean, it brings me back to not this year's TI qualifiers, but last year's TI qualifiers. It might have even been the Open qualifiers where it was core Medusa and core Naga, and that game went forever. And there were pauses, 20-minute pauses in it, and just it had everything. Over top, the hook comes out on the Winter Wyvern, hit by the Pin of Malice. That was the combination I was talking about earlier with the Rod on top. Not level 6 is the Pudge, so he doesn't have Dismember to work with. Has hook up in 4 seconds, continue to chase the Winter Wyvern. Tide, not really taking much damage at all. Yeah, that game had everything. It had Medusa core, Naga core, Earth Spirit kicks of the Medusa into the well. Israel J. Esquire. Even though I think I botched that joke, I think it's Roman J. Israel Esquire. I have no idea. Roman J. Israel Esquire. Yeah, I blew the joke. It happens. It happens. Thunder God's Wrath. Thunderlord's level 12, and he is going to go straight to the Guardian Greaves. He might even go into the Crimson Guard afterwards as he picks up the Stout Shield. Winter's Curse stops him from killing off the Tide. Defensive, but worth it. Keeps the Tide alive. Take a look over at bottom, and then Naga Siren finishing up this Diffusal Blade soon enough. Huskar here going into the Bloodthorn. Interesting pickup here from this Huskar. And then Arcane Boots from the Witch Doctor. And then Zeus going for the Aether Lens. So not a lot going on at the moment. Firestorm, Tide below. Bit of Malice, Splinter Blast comes through. And the heal, but Underlord, a lot of trouble. Gush comes out. Firestorm gets one. Might get more with the Pudge forcing Winter Wyvern back into the Firestorm. Gets the kill there. Meanwhile, in the jungle, they'll take the Zeus. That is Viper coming over with the help of the Weaver to get that kill. Weaver, whose farm is now above the Tide, has not been great overall.
Top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under
We'll see what
attack.
happens once this Naga gets Diffusal. Are they gonna go like Manta, Radiance, or what Naga are we seeing right now? I'm very interested. Viper Strike out on the Pudge. Nether Toxin for the break, and dead. You are trying to go for that hook. Did regardless, but nice solo shrine. That's always fun.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Viper moves forward, finds this Huskar, and tries for the ulti. Thunder God's Wrath comes out to try and slow them down. Viper on the way out, gets hooked up. Nice hook coming in. Weaver now trying to make something happen. They've got the dust on him, and again, they do have the Zeus, but he will use that time-lapse, try and get away. Sentry Ward is there, so at least he knows there's no sentry, but there is a Zeus.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Got Naga Siren, who's now finished off the Diffusal Blade. We'll see what the Naga wants to queue up. I'm very interested to see where this is. Diffusal Blade, Mirror Image, Pin of Malice, as well as the Firestorm, but with the Winter Wyvern here, needs the heal. Firestorm might out-damage him. Here comes the Huskar. There's the Winter's Curse to finish off the Underlord. Cast comes in, but he doesn't die. Finally drops to the Riptide. They use the ulti. Winter Wyvern trying to deny himself to Roche, and will. Now they're looking for more, and as the turnaround comes with Viper as well as the Tidehunter, and we'll be able to clean up 3 of these heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Thunder God's Wrath. As they bring over the Underlord, who will be looking for Radiance. I had a bit of a feeling he might go for a Crimson Guard. I guess he's not. Take a look over at the Tidehunter, who's got Blink, Ravage up in 30, so they might even look to fight. Lincoln's next for the Weaver. Viper, he's going for a Pipe. A little damage over bottom, and then Naga going for the S and Y. Okay. This Naga build excites me more and more. And then the Zeus, let's say maybe looks for the Bloodstone or Kaya next, as over top looking for the hook. Ravage up in 4. Not enough mana for it at the moment. We'll use that hood, go for the tier 1, and grab it. So get the tower there. They've lost their top tier 1. The tier 2 stands untouched for the moment. Huskar continuing to farm. He was looking for the Bloodthorn first item. He's closing in on that Orchid pretty quickly. Not too far away from it. He's had a lot of time to himself. Is over mid with the Viper Strike and the damage. Viper will have that kill onto the Zeus. Don't need the heal at the moment for the Viper, but they've got 3 heroes here and possibly maybe looking to bait him if they do heal in the middle of the lane. But here is the blue Observer Ward. That always messes me up, especially this one. They do see all 3 of these heroes waiting at the top of this cliff as the cast comes out, as well as the Maldic. They find the ulti, and with the Shadow Blade, for now, okay, is Viper, and with the time lapse, but still go with the ulti. He's going to be the Witch Doctor, though. Take out this Huskar, but they'll lose the Viper. Hook comes through onto this Weaver, and do end up losing the Huskar as well as the Witch Doctor for a Weaver and a Viper. So overall, that is better for this Radiant side. They might even find more with the hook shot coming out onto the Winter Wyvern. But now, ooh, Gush. Possible turnaround here for the Tide. But Underlord waiting in the pit, and the hook will hit onto the Winter Wyvern to get that kill. They're looking for more. Dismember was used, but the Kraken Shell will take care of that.
Well, that would be a tribute.
So, refresher next for this Tidehunter. 3,700 gold saved up for the Underlord. He's getting close to that Sacred Relic. He's going to be strong fast. And the full pipe finished off here for the Viper.
Loaded to the gills.
It's been relatively, and I say that word a lot, close game between both these teams. Nothing too crazy, and Naga taken out under the graph. Killed off, destroyed. Thunder God's Wrath comes in, and he's looking for the Axe. He wants the Nimbus. Oh, ulti. They've got the nice hook as well as the dust. They are always carrying dust ready for this team. And there's the Dismember to come through onto this Viper. Will get the kill. Rod of Atos out here for the Pudge. Looking for the rod and hook combo.
Is under attack.
They're really ready and soon to get a Radiance. Radiant are looking real good at the moment as Huskar drops over bottom. And then they get the tower
Radiant's
mid.
top tower
So with
has
the top tower going down, Weaver's had fair play of this lane for quite some time. TPing over towards top will be the Witch Doctor.
under attack.
Just trying to clean up this creep wave.
Double damage.
There's the ulti from this Underlord to get out. And he's gone. Takes himself over towards top and ready to just continue pushing. Soon to get this Radiance recipe and finish off the Radiance in about 300 gold.
I'll take that.
Viper's farm has slowed down considerably. So he's now going for the BKB. He sits third in the net worth, and Naga dead again. This time over mid, again to the Thunder God's Wrath. Zeus gets another kill, and he has got this axe. So Zeus doing a very good job finding this farm, finding these kills, and especially after dying so many times over mid, and in these fights that had ensued afterwards, he is really using the Thunder God's Wrath off cooldown, and now with this Nimbus, it can get that much easier for him. He's level 18 at the moment. I'm scared for the Dire because he's level 18 at the moment. Soon to hit level 20 with that mini stun. You find that, let's say you get Rod of Atos with the hook, Dismember, Nimbus with Thunder God's Wrath. I mean, you're almost guaranteeing a kill there every 90 seconds or a team fight to go your ways. We'll take a look over top. Underlord in a lot of trouble. Viper striking away, and we'll get that kill. The break makes it much harder for that Underlord to survive, or at least fight back. And then finishing off the Orchid will be the Huskar. So he's got that Orchid. Naga Siren finishes off the SNY going into the Butterfly. So no Manta style, no Radiance. We're not seeing the normal Naga. This is very interesting. I love Ags on Naga. I don't think this is a position to get it in. I do really think it was amazing. I think it still kind of is amazing. Obviously, this patch is not current day. Or this game is not current day. Thunder God's Wrath again, but this time with the Naga again. The kill. Airbolt just needs to drop the Nimbus. I think it was dropped over, yeah, here. So that's the combo that they're looking for. Naga's going to have to be very careful. 30% magic resistance, not that great considering that Viper's got 69. 30% for Tide, not amazing. 28% for Weaver. Yeesh. Weaver ends up falling to the Huskar.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pushes on from the Dire. And Rod of Atos, there's the hook with the lightning bolt. Song comes out from the Naga Siren. They'll look to reset. Huskar TPing in. They're going to need to try and hold this and maybe fight. I don't know if it's going to come. The Viper Strike hits out of the Zeus. He's going to be immediately taken out of this fight. Hook goes through 3 heroes here, but they've got the big ulti from the Witch Doctor on the back. Winter's Curse will come in and deter them from moving forward. Meanwhile, Tidehunter back in base, dealing with this Underlord. He's going to Dark Rift over towards top, but the chase is on. They're looking for more. Might look for the Huskar to jump in, but Viper with the Invis really stops the Radiant from continuing forward. And 13 months. Tier 1 subbing is old Dylan. New Dylan, young Dylan, middle-aged Dylan. I think we're still kind of young. Witch Doctor's been Witch Doctor Bloodstone, excuse me? And you buy it, you lose it. I don't... Okay. I mean, that was instantly buying a Bloodstone and losing over a third of it, or losing 5 charges. That's disgusting. Not sure how I feel about that.
Gold for me. Bounty.
Damage on the tier 3 is about 25%. As Weaver going for the Desolator, I mean, he spent so long going for that Lincoln Sphere. It feels like he's so far behind. He's over top. Ravages pop to keep this Underlord nearby. Splinter Blast comes out. As well as the Arctic Burn. With that Anchor Smash, Tidehunter able to get that kill onto the Underlord, who again still sits top of the net worth. Guardian Greaves, Radiance going into the Shiva's Guard. For bottom, they found the Pudge. Witch Doctor's here, throws the Maledict. I'm not sure that hit on anybody, and it didn't. They'll be able to kill the Naga Siren. They don't kill the Weaver. There still is time lapse to use, but killing that Naga Siren, 64 seconds, no buyback, so no fear of the song for the next minute. So up 9 kills, but it's still about an even game in terms of net worth. Their tier 3 got pressured earlier, so maybe Dire feel the need to continue pushing and looking for a tower to keep it objective. Shiva's Guard almost finished here for the Tidehunter. You take a look over at the Winter Wyvern Glimmer Cape as well as the mech, possibly going into the Guardian Greaves, and then for this Viper about to finish off the Orchid, then in the BKB. As for the Huskar, has the Crystallis, has the Orchid, and we'll be finishing off the Bloodthorn soon. So we'll see how that Bloodthorn really helps. It's not a common item there for the Huskar. And I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm expecting from a Bloodthorn here from the Huskar, who is 4-5-1. Ooh, out of Atos. Hook. There's the Dismember and the Nimbus. Thunder God's Wrath is going to be used, chasing with the Rot, and Zeus is here. Finishes off the Shivas. Meanwhile, Weaver killed bottom. Soloed by this Underlord. With the help of that Thunder God's Wrath, I believe.
Hey.
Right strike over mid onto the Huskar. Like I said, I don't know what he's really going to do. With that Bloodthorn. He can't really seem to survive in these fights.
Invisibility.
So. Zeus going for the Octarine Core. Naga Siren now back into the Manta style. Oh, I forgot what Naga had queued up earlier, but it is going to end up being the Manta style. And then Weaver, like I said, is going for the Desolator, but he's still about an item and a half away from that. Radiance burning on the Viper. He comes around, has the Orchid, but the Pit of Malice is there. Needs to walk out of it as he hits with the Viper Strike. They drop down the Nimbus. They continue on forward. The Anchor Smash comes through as well as the Shiva's broken again with the Nether Toxin. Will get the kill. They're glyphed. You might as well just hit the Nimbus. Cleans it up. Drops down the Nether Toxin. And getting considerably closer to the BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Out of Atos with the song forced out. Nimbus to try and slow down this team, and It won't do it. But the Winter Wyvern and as well as the Naga Siren able to walk away. And this is all while the Tide just continuing to push over towards top. I don't think he ever took this stack, and as I say that, I was wrong, but Rod of Atos comes out as well as the hook on the Winter Wyvern. Just remember to follow that up. There's the ensnare with the Orchid coming out from the Viper, and Nether Toxin makes this kill on this Pudge very easy. Thunder God's Wrath will be thrown. Weaver moving forward.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And this is all while Tide is cleaning up this creep wave and putting pressure on the top tier 2. Dire looking to push bottom. The rotation will be made from the Radiant side to try and save this tower.
Dire's middle tower.
So they do, in fact, save the tower, but now over bottom, Dire come in. Swarm hits on to the Underlord. As Tower will try to take care of that with Bit of Malice. Just deterring the Dire.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
We'll
has
look for the
fallen.
Tide. Can he find it? Blink to their low ground. And he is out of town. Aetherland's almost finished here for the Pudge. That'll make that hook that much longer. Huskar still looking for the Bloodthorn. At first sight on Bloodthorn, I'm still not over the fact that he doesn't have it, and I don't know if he's going to be able to use it. Again, we've just seen this Huskar wiped out of these fights so quickly. I don't believe he's really going to be a participant in these fights for some time to come. The God's Wrath will spot the Viper. And Nimbus drops down and will help spot that ward. Actually, the Viper gets a Bloodthorn before the Huskar does. He's level 23, has plus 100 on the Viper Strike DPS. So 245 per second with a duration of 5. That is a lot of damage, if you don't know.
I'll up the dosage.
And a double damage picked up here by the Viper, so I mean, might even think about just going for Roche, but instead finds the Pudge, pushes on him, has the Bloodthorn, gets the kill. Huskar thinks about coming, and they might even blink with the Ravage. He's got the Refresher Orb too soon, so they might even want to hold out on that. Dire looking to possibly even clean up, finish off this game. Constantly throwing these Nether Toxins. Viper has thought about this BKB and has backed off it multiple times.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire
So
are
Refresher
scanning.
Orb is in the stash of this Tide and ready to come on its way, as I think full Desolator is finished off for the Weaver and coming in. So they go to push over bottom again. They'll use these illusions of the Naga Siren, going for the Butterfly, and has the Manta SNY Diffusal. See how they attack this first high ground attempt? It's full high ground attempt. They might wait till they get the double Ravage. Rod of Atos comes out. Now that maybe they can't, they're going to need the blink. But the Thunder God's Wrath is going to stop that blink. They'll get themselves the song as well as the Shiva's Guard. Blink is available now. Gets in with the whole team. There's the 5-man Ravage, and they'll get themselves at least the Huskar. Look for more. They're getting low on the Dire, however. They need to be very careful. They don't have the Aegis to work with. The Winter's Curse is going to be used. They lose the Viper, lose the Naga, and that is all they lose on the side of the Radiant is the Huskar. Fortunately, they couldn't wait for the second Ravage, but 2 kills there for the Radiant. It's going to help pull them back a little bit. They barely take damage to their tier 3 tower. So now what you're looking for, if I'm the Dire, is wait for everybody to respawn, go after Roche, have the double Ravage, and then from there, maybe you look to fight.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
33-23, 6,000 net worth lead for the Dire side. Bounty runes being picked up by the Weaver, giving this team a good chunk of gold as Refresher Orb is picked up by Zeus. I feel like I've been calling it Refresher Shard. Just Refresher Orbs just don't get picked up as much as they used to, and I guess I'm just so used to calling Refresher Shard now. Naga coming bottom, probably into the Pit of Malice, uses the Dark Rift to get out of here, and doesn't actually take the Witch Doctor with him, so now, Mirror Image, they go for the ulti, and Glimmer Cape. Question is, does it keep him alive long enough? He's probably going to die, and back down to 8 charges. No! Oh! I don't believe the Radiant saw that. But that is song wasted. Not the worst cooldown at 80 seconds, level 3. Had that been a level 1, I'd be a lot more upset with 160. But that's still song on cooldown. Granted, they're still waiting for Ravage.
A flight of fancy.
Courier grabs the gem right into the Naga.
Has been killed.
And there goes the gem again. Courier save or Courier death. They go for Roche. They will have the Aegis. They'll have the double Ravage from the Refresher Orb. Crimson Guard next for the Tidehunter. They pick up the gem? Or is it just going to sit here? I don't even know if anybody knows it's there. So Suna has enough to finish off the Silver Edge, which means he'll have double break and takes Nether Toxin, silences anyway. So the Nether Toxin is really going to be important here as he's got double silence and Suna have double break. I see why he goes for this build on the Viper. It is very effective at just shutting down a lot of these heroes on the side of the Radiant. 0.8 second Pit of Malice root. That makes the duration 2.6 seconds. Whew. A lot of Atos. Hook onto the Winter Wyvern. Song comes out. This is the perfect time for a curse. Perfect time for it. Not gonna go for it. And now the Ravage, but you had the opportunity. I mean, that is your moment. Now the double Ravage, but they're about to lose this tide. They'll find the ulti from this Witch Doctor. That might take care of the Naga Siren. Gets a little bit low, but is able to fall back. Maledict's really pushing away the tide. Will tick one more time to take him out. So they lose the tide. Pudge is the only trade he'll buy back. And now they go in. They'll look for the Viper. Should be able to get the kill there if they've got the follow-up, but they don't. The heal comes out from the Winter Wyvern. Huskar falls. Next will be the Witch Doctor down. Even more charges if he is unable to make it back to the base. And there's the slow, there's the damage, and there is the silence down to 6 Bloodstone charges.
Radiant's bottom barracks is falling.
So it's a 15,000 net worth lead. There's the silence with the double silence of the Bloodthorn. A lot of Atos right on top. Pudge trying to do damage here, but he's silenced. Was looking probably for the Dismember. Can't find it. Zeus, meanwhile, gets the kill on the Weaver. I believe this was over bottom. And Viper low on mana, forced to run away, but he's got the Aegis, so he can just stand and fight. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just try and stand and bang here. And then get that mana restoration in the death. So if he dies to this Underlord, that's probably for the best. Just has to get out of the Nimbus. Dark Rift out, but Zeus didn't get away. Hyper Strike was available, unable to get it.
Loaded to the gills.
So 15,000 net worth lead here. Ends up being a 3 for 3. Evenly worth it in terms of gold. 500 more experience going the way of the Dire, and I think solely to this Winter Wyvern, who's now level 24, so Cold Embrace cooldown. Now 10 seconds.
Radiant's top shrine is under
Splinter Blast, 2 seconds stun. I like that. I'm a big fan. I'm a big advocate of that. I mean, every 7 seconds you have a 2-second stun on multiple heroes. That's... And if you set up the perfect Winter's Curse and then you stun... Dirty. Bloodthorn out onto this Witch Doctor, still not holding detection. He'll probably turn around and maybe try to throw Cask. He's silenced at the moment, needs to get out of the Nether Toxin. Into the trees he goes. Still trying to run. As he throws the ulti and... Uh-oh. Viper. Sun comes out, silence up to the Nether Toxin Pit of Malice. Viper in a lot of trouble, forced to use that BKB. He'll now be healed up, but now over on the side, the Huskar's taken care of due to the Naga Siren, who ends up falling to the Huskar's burn, and the damage over time. Ravage hits onto 3 of these heroes. Continue on forward will be the Viper. There's the Winter's Curse. Hitting away at the Witch Doctor will be the Zeus. Still alive is the Viper. There's the second Ravage. They're stunned up forever. The Nimbus duration is just so long. It's going to take care of this Viper. 3 heroes dead on the side of the Radiant, but they don't have the Naga Siren or the Viper for at least 60 seconds for one of them, 90 on the other, with no buyback on either of these heroes.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Look to try and save the tide.
Radiant's bottom
With the
barracks.
Glimmer Cape coming in. Maledict. Whew, almost kills him. Meanwhile, bottom tier 3 and Rax are gone due to the Weaver just hitting away at it. He has not been involved in any of these fights. He's picked up a Maelstrom, going for the Mjolnir. It really has become just a rat game for this Weaver to finish off while his team is distracting the Radiant.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So 17,000 net worth. Pudge just calling GG as he notices the bottom set of racks are gone, probably. Witch Doctor 8 Bloodstone charges. I'd like to see him go Ags if he's going to go for the Death Ward damage. I don't think he'll go for the Voodoo Restoration.
Go for me.
Oh my god.
Bounty.
Almost finishing off this Octarine core is the Zeus. We'll probably trade in his Arcanes for bots eventually. Winter Wyvern. Oh, that's stun. That's dirty. -6 Riptide armor. So that's -11. Weaver level 22. He's very far behind. And then the Viper, of course, took the Nether Toxin. Silences. And 25% cooldown reduction for the Tide. Not the 250 damage. Not that I'm surprised by that. Both are relatively good in their own situations. But, ooh, Pudge with the Dismember. They've also got the Crimson Guard. He's going to end up falling to this Winter Wyvern. Again, the Winter Wyvern just stunning these heroes with the Splinter Blast. And ooh, take a look over mid. Weaver, again, just trying to rat them while they're worried about what's happening over top. This is the split push that they need to really be pushing onto the Radiant and finish off this game. Cast comes out onto the creeps. Naga leading the charge with the team looking over, and the silence. There's the ulti from the Huskar. Puts him in harm's way, though. That pulls him all the way out. There's the Pit of Malice. BKB's going to be popped by the Witch Doctor? Excuse me, but he does throw a good ult. Gets the kill, or will help the team get the kill onto the Tidehunter. Witch Doctor's got some nice chunk of farm. Plus 120 gold per minute will do that for you. Meanwhile, coming through the bottom lane will be the Weaver. They've taken on the mid-tier 3. But there's the Pit of Malice with the Shivas. And right into the time-lapse is the Weaver. I'll be down for 35 seconds. For 9-second BKB ready. Silence comes out. Another Toxin with the AoE. Basically as big as the Pit of Malice, and it really makes things tough. Nimbus comes out. Glimmered. Hex through onto the Winter Wyvern. Creeps are here. Really keeping the Winter Wyvern alive. Bloodthorn thrown in from the Huskar. Thinking about coming around will be the Weaver once again. Naga has Song. If the Naga wants to set up, Mirror Image, Nimbus gets away. Viper Strike, that's going to be thrown onto the Pudge, whose silence as well is broken. And the damage is coming out from the Viper. Will get the kill, but now the Thunder God's Wrath is going to hit. Huskar finally finishes off the Viper. Here comes this Weaver. And trying to kill off this Zeus. Gets the time-lapse, now hit by the cast. Trying to run, Maledict misses. Going in even further to try and kill the Witch Doctor, but Huskar, meanwhile, gets the kill on the Winter Wyvern, down for 95 seconds. They might even find this Weaver. Ulti comes in, and that's enough damage. That's more than enough damage. I don't know what he's doing by himself there. Continuing to just try and harass the Radiant side, but he doesn't have a Viper. He doesn't have a Winter Wyvern. That is not the play.
That would be a tribute.
So, Octarine Core picked up here for the Zeus. They've also got the Hex on the Underlord. What's Naga going for next? AC. Viper with the Heart. Okay. Killing the Naga Siren, down for 90 seconds. That could lead to Roche for the Radiant if the Dire aren't too careful, and they want to come around onto this Underlord. They need to get the silence here. There's the Viper Strike as well as the Bloodthorn. Tower's going to go down top as they've got the double catapult. Now trying to get out of here, but the Nether Toxin on top of him will silence him up. He's still tanking up for the moment, trying to run, and will be chased down by the Viper. But Underlord in there to make sure that they don't come by the Roche pit. Just picked up by the Huskar, as well as the Cheese. Getting a little greedy there. Weaver not level 25. I really wish they should add the ability of how many smokes are left, how many tomes are left, wards are left. That would be nice. Going into Roche, like you don't know it was just taken. So again, Dire trying to finish off the Radiant one more time, up 10,000 net worth, going for the Heart on the Viper, still holding that buyback, 2,800 surplus, so can almost take the Reaver, And
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
they glyph again. They look to take the tier 3 over towards top. Cask threatened by the Witch Doctor. There's the Maledict. But silenced up. Rod of Atos BKB is going to be popped, and he's just trying to take the swarm off him while he's got the BKB pop. This might not be the most well-used BKB. Not from the Viper either, but Blink in with the Ravage. Hits on 5 and hits on 5 again into the Winter's Curse. But the Thunder God's Wrath comes out from the Zeus. That'll come out one more time. He's sitting on the edge of this fight, not getting anywhere close. Meanwhile, they go for the Naga Siren, who's out for 100 seconds with no buyback. The Swarm comes across the side of the Radiant, but it's not going to have enough follow-up damage as they take out the Viper. They look for more from the Weaver, but it's not there for him. They see him. They've got the Pit of Malice. The Huskar comes in. 3 dead, none lost on the Radiant, with follow-up after follow-up after follow-up from the Dire, and unable to bring him down. As, yeah, tier 4s are getting low thanks to the creeps, but this game is getting closer and closer to even. Scar kills another one, and this game is practically even. So 4 heroes dead on the Dire side. Game pulled to even. The push is on for what seems to be the first time in years from the Radiant, as Tide can only just watch, as he does have Ravage in 40. Buybacks come out from the Weaver as well as the Winter Wyvern. You got what you came for. You take your first lead, and the Radiant feel like they're in control.
Dire structures are fortified.
X. Onto the Huskar, silence up. Nether Talks BKB is going to be popped. Now they're looking for more. The Shivas will be thrown forward. BKB popped here by the Witch Doctor, who's almost back to even charges on the Bloodstone he's picked up. Because they're unable to grab the tier 3, but they do, in fact, still have this Aegis. Octarine Core. This is the most farm Witch Doctor I think I've ever seen in my life before. It does take the Voodoo Restoration. I thought he might go for the Death Ward and then go to the Ags, but I guess that's not what he wants to do. That Voodoo Restoration is actually pretty basey in my headset. I honestly thought I was going crazy for a moment where that was my heart. But it wasn't. It made me nervous. And then I looked over the map. I was like, oh, Witch Doctor. Voodoo Restoration. Okay. They're trying to protect from these creeps over towards top, as they do lose the tier 3 tower over top as well as mid. There's nothing over bottom. Dire trying to regroup here and possibly find their moment to go in. I don't know if this Naga has itemized correctly to bring this game that late, as now the fight might be raging on over mid. They've got the Hex. That'll come through onto the Weaver. Aegis is expired, but back into the Nimbus is the time lapse into the Pit of Malice as well. Weaver had bought back trying to defend over mid. Now he's down for 90 seconds without it. Double Ravage ready. Viper ready with an 8-second BKB, as well as the AC picked up. Never finished off that Silver Edge. Invis rune from the Witch Doctor. Nobody expects it. Can't see him. Now the Hex comes through the Arctic Burn, as well as the Pit of Malice. And the Dire make their way out. I think he's thinking about throwing that Ravage, and now the Cast is going to follow it up. They've got the Maledict. There is the ulti, as well as the Winter's Curse, but the Dark Pact should be there to take him away. Meanwhile, Viper got the kill on the Zeus behind enemy lines, and he immediately buys back. And he buys back because they've lost the tier 4. Lost one tier 4. The game's sitting even. Underworld is so far ahead of everybody else. That's actually nuts. Not with a GPM talent of any kind. So Ravage up in a minute, going for the Ags for that Gush. Which I do like. The forward Gush. Cone Gush. That little wave pool he throws at you. I think it's good. I think the slow is, you know, if you're trying to chase, they take a Rax or something, especially late game, where they try to take a tier 3 and get back, but you hit multiple heroes with a slow like that. It's devastating.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh. Brutal. Brutal. So over top, trying to run is the Naga. Got the Nimbus. And slowed up by the Arctic Burn. And now actually the Weaver coming in, so they might be able to get a kill. They've got the Hex, they've got the damage. The Thunder God's Wrath comes out. They need to kill him before he gets Dark Rift back. And now Naga Siren all of a sudden dead. Naga Siren is gone. They'll look for more. The Hex on the Winter Wyvern. Underlord, with the help of this Nimbus, is able to handily take care of these heroes in the Dire. And Nimbus after Nimbus after Nimbus. This is just gross. Every 22 seconds, there is a Nimbus.
A golden thread.
Oh boy. Huskar found, pops the link and silence up. Nimbus on top, forced to use that time lapse. Coming over will be this Witch Doctor. I think he's thinking about throwing the cast, but he goes over to the creeps, pops the BKB. Now he's got to be on the run. BKB popped by the Viper. Buyback comes out from the Naga Siren, who now needs to walk down mid. I think this is thinking about ending the game. Ravage comes out, hits on 3, and they continue on forward for the Witch Doctor. Ravage again. They threw the Thunder God's Wrath. They have the silence into the Pit of Malice. Still is the Viper trying to chase down this Zeus. Tide has to get out of there as he's throwing the Ravages already. 2 dead on the side of the Radiant. Weaver comes out, but look at how tanky this Underlord is. 38 armor, and they are really unable to crack the shell of this man. As coming in with a Dismember will be the Pudge. They've taken out the Naga, who just fought back. That's 110 seconds on the sideline. They'll go for the Pudge again. They'll get the kill. He's dead for 90. Immediately buys back. They look over the Viper. Force F to the side. Underlord just sitting here with his armor and Radiance burning through the Dire side. They still have 4 alive, and as this is all raging on, Weaver has taken the ranged Rax. Nimbus, I don't care about your Glimmer Cape. Hook comes out. BKB popped again by the Viper. Meanwhile, Underlord's not there, but they've got the Thunder God's Wrath to kill off this Tide Hunter. They look to try and kill off this Pudge. Coming in will be the Winter Wyvern, but top set of Racks are gone as the Weaver's taking it, and he is just going for the Racks. He doesn't even care about the heroes. He's going for the buildings. Staying objective is the Weaver, and that's how the Dire have continued to sustain their pressure in this game, but without that, they'd probably be falling further and further behind. So 47-40. An even game 63 minutes in. With a core Naga that feels like really doesn't contribute into this game. And a Tide Hunter that's there for the Ravage. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard. The heroes that need the Refresher Shard are gone. But let's see. I just need to hold it for now. And Tide goes for the Guardian Greaves instead. Thinks otherwise on the Ags, and all of a sudden, Weaver's taken out by the double. Nimbus, Thunder God's Wrath. They'll take the Winter Wyvern out as well. Viper will lose his first life. And buyback comes out from the Tide. They want to try and save him, but the buyback's worthless with 10 seconds to go on the respawn. Viper's dead again. 108 seconds gone. There's the buybacks. 7,000 net worth, 8,000 net worth lead here. Now they go for their high ground push, their first one, seemingly all game. Meanwhile, bottom is the Nagasar, and they look over at this Weaver, who should probably be over at bottom. The Ravage comes out, but he's silenced up. The chase is on, though. So Huskar is going to help get the kill with the Pudge grabbing it. The double Ravage, but that's just holding him still. Meanwhile, down over towards this mid-set of racks is the Naga, trying to make it Mega Creeps. They've got the Dark Rift. They'll come in onto the base. Naga needs to get out of there. It's just the Underlord who's definitely capable of getting a kill here. They send back the Underlord. He's the strongest one of the bunch, and now they've got the Winter's Curse. That's going to land on the Huskar. They'll kill him. He's dead for 100 seconds. He doesn't have buyback. They take the tier 3, but the mid-racks still stand for the Dire as well as the rest of the base. A lot of Atos look for the hook to follow it up. He gets out of the harm's way as he moves over north. Meanwhile, Naga TP's back, has Song to work with, could lock in a couple of these heroes if he chooses to use it at the right time. And now, let's see what he follows it up with. Pulls it back immediately, goes for the Zeus, gets the kill, down for 2 minutes. Dismember comes out from the Pudge as well as the cast, trying to find something as this Witch Doctor. The Pudge can't push, can't kill, can't do anything, and he will fall. Witch Doctor is here, say goodbye to a third of your charges, back down to 8, 4 die. Underlord goes back to save the base. But it all falls to pieces as the Radiant can't capitalize on the Dire's misplays. So we take a look at the fight recap. 3 die, 4,000 net worth pulled back. Radiant still technically have the net worth lead with just the mid-rack standing. Witch Doctor buys back. Underlord trying to do it basically by himself. At least hold for 30 seconds. Get that Huskar back. See what they can do. If they could hold till they're up on the Radiant, maybe the Dire are in trouble. But until that point, it's clean sailing. Here comes the Shivas. Shivas again. Hex onto the Underlord, trying to run away. He's got the Solar Crest, and Snare comes through. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds. Maybe force the buyback as the BKB is going to be popping. It's not going to matter. The Winter's Curse is on the Witch Doctor. They've got the Mega Creeps. Now the Ravage on top will take out the Witch Doctor, and here we go. They're on to the last tier 4. They will open up the Ancient. Let's see if they can hold it. BKB is going to be held. Or popped, sorry, on this Huskar, and now here comes the Zeus! He's got 2 kills already with the Nagasarn as well as the Tidehunter going down to the double Thunder God's Wrath. And he's looking for more, looking for the Viper, has the damage with the help of the Underlord as well as the Huskar. They'll get themselves 3. He's got buyback to work with, but now the Winter Wyvern in a lot of trouble, silenced up by the Huskar with the Bloodthorn. He finally feels like he's doing something. Underlord with another kill. They hold the base for now. Double kill here for the Underlord. 4 heroes die. They can't kill the Ancient. And Pudge is shocked that they haven't lost yet. It really is the power of that Zeus that is holding them in this game. They have Mega Creeps charging into the base. Everybody soon to be alive here for the side of the Radiant as Witch Doctor has 10 seconds left. If they can force the buyback of the Viper, it could finally be completely tits up for the Dire. Viper does buyback. Buybacks, only the Huskar. Things are nuclear here in this game. Dire had such a lead earlier. And now they've got the Hex, the Pit of Malice with the ulti, as well as the BKB. That's going to be popped by the Huskar. The Dismember through the BKB with the 8th throw. As Viper, you just bought back, and you will go down again. Say goodbye to your mid-setter racks. Will we play it safe, asks the Radiant. The answer is they think about the tier 4. They look over. There's going to be the time lapse as well as the Nimbus. They're coming in with the Ravage on the 3. They've got the Song setting up the Ravage one more time. And there it is. Weaver hitting away at this Pudge. Oh no, we stopped the ulti. The Dismember back onto the Tidehunter as well as the Nimbus with the ulti. Thunder God's Wrath comes through. Zeus, so much damage. You cannot stop this man. The hook! The hook! Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me! How did he just hit that hook? my god! 2 against the world. Radiant are pulling it off. 7,000 net worth lead. It really, at this point, net worth lead doesn't matter. They go after the Naga Siren, who has nothing left to throw. 4 are dead. Will have buyback to try and defend. The Winter's Curse here is out onto the Witch Doctor as they try to defend their base from mega creeps. Now the buyback comes out from the Naga Siren. They look after these tier 4s. Witch Doctor in a little bit of trouble. There's the ensnare as well as the Hex, Pit of Malice, Rod of Atos. You are rooted for so long, my friend. And now the Dismember follows it up with the Maledict. Thunder God's Wrath will get the kill. Hook, he's gonna miss.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're still going for the tier 4s. Viper up in 9, and the Glyph! Zeus dealing with the Mega Creeps, and he's really just there for the double ult, double Nimbus. Splinter Blast. Stun, stun, stun. I mean, that's a 2-second stun on 3 heroes. That is basically RP. Heroes will be back up in just a moment for the Dire if they can hold. They're going for the tier 4s. This is going to be the cast bouncing around as well as the Hex. The BKB is going to be popped by the Viper. They got to stay objective because this is going to be the Tidehunter up now, and he's got Ravage in 3 seconds, as well as the double Ravage in 30. They go after the tier 4. Just because the Ancient is open doesn't mean the game is over, and there's the 3-4-man Ravage! With the Splinter Blast on top of that, Huskar trying to survive. He's getting quite low, but he's trying to take the Viper with him. Gets low with Thunder God's Wrath as well as the Nimbus on top of the entire side of the Dire. The cast bouncing around, but this is going to be a hold from the Winter Wyvern who tries to keep him alive. Witch Doctor with the ulti kills off the Viper. There is the Thunder God's Wrath again. And the Ancient exposed. No Viper, no Naga Siren. All they can hold it with is this Weaver as well as the Winter Wyvern Tidehunter. And what can they do? There's the second Ravage. 30 seconds, but they just don't have the damage. Look at how tanky these heroes are. Winter's Curse, but it's not doing much of anything. They maybe look over at this Witch Doctor to get the kill. He finally ends up falling. It's Pudge. Underworld hitting at the well. Can they finish it off? It's the Winter Wyvern as well as the Tidehunter trying to do something. Kraken Shell stops the Dismember, but there's the Hook as well as the Cold Embrace to keep this Tidehunter alive. They've got no creeps. Backdoor protection is here, but I don't know if it's going to hold you for 60 seconds. We'll see. Backdoor, backdoor, backdoor. Is it holding? Dark Rift as the creeps are coming in heavy on the side of the Radiant. They've actually taken the Underlord out. Now there's their moment to kill off the Pudge. Hook comes through, Tide in a lot of trouble. And ulti, Shivas, Cold Embrace, and Naga's here.
Radiant are scanning.
I need split screen. I wish I had split screen. I know what this is coming down to, and I know that I wish I had split screen. Roche is up. There's a second life, a cheese, a refresher shard, all available here. Double damage picked up by the Naga. They're pushing us 3. This is not your moment to push. You need to wait for the entire team. You cannot just push. I understand the Huskar's dead for 17, but the Pudge has buyback. I know they don't know that for sure. They need to be careful. They need to be careful. There's the Nimbus laid down. It's zoning. Pudge buys back. Weaver up in 10. Viper walking down mid. They've got the Rod of Atos as well as the BKB that's going to be popped by the Winter Wyvern. Thunder God's Wrath comes through. Maledict not going to land, but they've got the Dismember. That'll come and hit onto the Winter Wyvern as well as the ulti from the Witch Doctor as well as the BKB. Can it be enough? They've got the Pit of Malice. There's the Ravage. That'll hit onto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes here with the song coming in, but they've lost the Winter Wyvern and they've lost the Tide. On top of that, down goes this Naga. This is insane. That is why you do not push as 3 in a moment like this. You now don't have Naga or Winter Wyvern for over a minute, if not closer to 2. Weaver's here. They look at the Pudge. They've got the silence. They need the break. They're chasing him down with the Swarm. They'll get the kill. He just brought back. He's down for 2 minutes. Question becomes, can the Radiant even push? Oh no, right into the hands of the Radiant. Now there comes the silence, but look at how quickly they take out the Huskar, but he's got himself the lifesteal, and he's gonna survive for now. Weaver forced to use that time lapse. He finally ends up dying to the Viper, who turns around and looks for the Witch Doctor, but he's gonna get low. He might even end up dropping and will to the Zeus, thanks to the Nimbus. because every 22 seconds getting hit with that is 100% bounds.
Invisibility.
This is 15,000 net worth lead for the Radiant. And it was Radiant on their heels just a second ago. I mean, this is... Look at this. Look at this graph. 20,000 net worth, 20,000 net worth. Experience has flatlined as we've hit that point in the game. And this gives the Dire, who are down 15,000 net worth, 80% chance of winning the game. Viper up in 40. Buybacks look like this. Underlord, Zeus. Just Zeus having it is scary enough. Tidehunter and Weaver. 2 and 2. This is... Excuse me. Double moon shard. I think he's just buying moon shards at this point for people. Does Huskar have one? Yes, he does. This is crazy. Divine Rapier setup for this Weaver. That's what it's gonna have to take. I mean, he should realistically consume the moon shard or give it to someone. He has to. Oh.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Here's the Ancient getting attacked. Let's see if they can defend. Here is the Underlord. He's the strongest one of the bunch, seemingly, in terms of just tankiness. And look at how quickly he rips through this Witch Doctor. Ravage on everybody. Here comes this Weaver as well as the Viper. They're going to try and finish off this game. Of course, Zeus does have that buyback. The Witch Doctor's going to buy back. Zeus is going to be forced to buy back as well as the BKB pop by Witch Doctor. Look at the Underlord. He's just taking so much damage. Still not dead. Goes after the Weaver. He's going to fall. He's got buyback in 99 seconds. Underlord falls. He's the fourth to die by the hand of the Dire on the Radiant side. He's going to buy back as well. Everybody's bought back on the side of the Radiant except for the Pudge, who hasn't exactly died yet. And they will lose the Witch Doctor again, but they've taken another Viper. Buyback comes out from the Weaver. Dismember through all the way to the Winter Wyvern with a Force Staff away. Buyback from the Viper. Blink forward from the Huskar.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
The Ancient, half health. You need to be careful. He bought both those moon shards for Huskar. That's what he did. That's what it seemed like. I think he's still holding one. Nope. Although, wait. Am I right on that? Yeah. Need this extra life, guys. Whoever's going to win this game is going to need that extra life. But you have to be careful. Refresher Orb comes up. And you're in trouble. But the Thunder God's Wrath will be used. It spots you. There's the Nimbus in the trees, making Weaver have a hard time.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Zeus doing all he can. Nimbus dropped again. It's been 22 seconds. Up again, ready to go. He's going to want to hold it for the Refresher Orb drop.
Immortality.
Weaver takes the Aegis. Looking for the Divine Rapier. Maybe now he could go for it with the Aegis. Double Ravage, triple Ravage available. So we see these creeps start to come in. Really make it hard for them to defend the Ancient. Ancient also exposed on the Dire side. But that backdoor is what saved them. Going in is going to be the Naga with the mirror image. We'll set up with the Song, but the BKB's been popping the Huskar. They're just trying to set up the Ravage here. Let's see what they can do. They need the Thunder God's Wrath to stop the blink, but there it is. That's going to hit on everybody. There's one. There's two. Count them up. It's going to be 3 strikes. You're out of here. There goes the Huskar. Pudge looking like he's going to be next. Huskar getting knocked all the way down, and as he does end up dying. Zeus in a bad way and will fall. He's got no buyback. It's 2 against the world for the Radiant. Silence up is the Underlord. This is the most damage we've seen him take and finally fall. And they look over at the Witch Doctor. He falls. Full team wipe for the Dire, and GG is finally called as they take the Ancient Dire. With only a 2,000 net worth lead, I know it means nothing and has meant nothing for the last 30 minutes. Finally take the game. Wow. That was absurd. Actually absurd. Wire to wire, Underlord is the net worth leader. Jesus.